Welcome to the Unlock Academy, week 3 of coding fundamentals. Week 3, excited for everybody who made it yet another week. This is really, really cool, mainly because I see you guys are serious, so I'm excited about that. The consistency is definitely commendable. Keep it up. This is what it's all about. Trying to get an hour in a day, an hour every other day. Try to get some type of consistency going. That's the key thing. So shout out to everybody who's doing it. Let's see if we got any new people on here. Check out that poll when you guys get a second. If you see the poll, did a poll pop up? Just really asking you guys, is today your first class or not? All right, cool. Yeah, man, I'm slipping right now. Slipping. That's my boy right there. I was on that Shalimar. That's what I'm on tonight. Take it back to 82. Doesn't show yes or no? Okay, something must be wrong with the poll. I'm gonna try another one. Try that one more time, see what happens. Okay. Okay, we got about a 75-25 thing going on here. So this is what I want to say. Pretty much, if today is your first day of class, right? My second question would be, tonight, hey, gonna make this a night to remember. Okay, I got another poll for you guys. Pretty much what I want to know now is, did you complete the homework week 1 and week 2? Yeah, just let me know. Okay, so we got so people putting work in. About 75% of people have at least done something. 40% said definite yes. That's great numbers right there. I like to see that. I want to get that number up to 100. Okay, I want to get that up to 100% of people have completed all of the homework. All right, that's my intention. So if today is your first class, you do not have to be here if you have not watched week 1 and week 2 videos. All right, this is the next live session, which would be on the calendar. It's the first week of January, I believe, the 7th or something like that. Once we come back from winter recess, that's when you guys will join these live sessions. Right now, what you should be doing is focusing on watching those replay videos and doing the homework. That way you get caught up to speed. Because I'm kind of afraid if you do not get caught up to speed, what's going to happen is what you see today is probably going to intimidate you a little bit, and I don't want you to get intimidated. So if you did watch the videos, then you can sit through this, no problem. But if not, I would just suggest that you don't join this webinar unless you are at least at week 3. If you at week 3 video, you watch week 1 video, watch week 2 video, and you're ready for this one. That way you just don't get overwhelmed and intimidated. It's really important. I don't want you to see something today and be like, this looks crazy, it's hard, it's really hard. No, everything is just building on top of each other. So I just want to make sure you get the first lessons first. Okay, cool. All right, put this on vibrate. Shout out to everybody sharing information about the Unlock Academy on social media. It's really helping out. We're getting a lot of people involved. People are signing up every day to get these free coding classes. It's really, really cool. It's exciting. I hope you guys just continue to take advantage of it. And we're going to keep on bringing some awesome people through. Okay, the catch-up class. If you need info for the catch-up classes, I put it inside of Slack. I can send it somewhere else as well. Let me see. Here we go right here. So that's the information for the catch-up class. So you can use that link right there to get access to everything you need to do to get caught up. So the replay videos, how to sign up for Slack, the homework, how to sign up for a membership, and everything like that. So it's really cool. Everything is right in that document. So use that link to get access to everything. Okay. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to start this lesson off. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay, here we go. So we left off. You guys put a lot of work in for the homework. So for you people who didn't do the homework, what the assignment pretty much was to create a really basic website. Let me see if I can find it. Might be right here. Yeah. So the homework was just to build a really basic website like this. You have a heading up top. You have a span tag here, which wraps around this and makes the text green. Then we put an image element, and this image element is pointing to some image on the web. All right. Then we made a China section with another heading, and then another image. And this image is pointing to a local image, something on your computer. So really encourage you guys to get that homework done ASAP if you haven't. To everybody who did, congratulations. I see the pictures on Slack. I'm really excited. Shout out to everybody who took it a step further, try to incorporate other elements, or did some really other cool stuff. I've seen a lot of cool stuff, man. So shout out to everybody who was really putting the time in and taking it serious. And everybody else, if you're having a hard time prioritizing, don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Try again. Be better. Time management is key. We all have that issue here and there. I'm going to be sharing some tips on how you can get the most out of your time. So we'll be talking about that too. I'm going to share something with you outside of this code and stuff, just how to be more efficient. Okay. So that's what we did over the homework. If you guys have any questions, please attend the enhanced tutoring sessions on Thursday. That's what they're for. Every single Thursday, we do live tutoring. We can just do a Q&A. You can ask me anything. So we have these classes on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I want you guys to make sure that you start working on the homework immediately. Okay. That way, Thursday, if you have any questions, you can attend the live tutoring sessions and you can ask your questions there. All right. If not, worst case, you can still ask your questions on Slack. I'm on Slack and the community is very engaging and helpful as well. So you just have to ask. Okay. So we're going to build on top of that pretty much. We talked about span tags and P tags. Anybody have any questions about span tags or P tags, just let me know. All right. Yep. Cool. Yep. I'm glad you can watch on mobiles. Awesome. Yeah, definitely congrats on the twins. I love twins. So yeah, this is really cool. We talked about span tags and P tags. So P tags is for like paragraphs. And then the span tags are more so just wrapped around a certain amount of text. So if we wanted to make the brown bear brown, we could just say, span, and then another span here. So we can just wrap the span around small parts of text, like really small bits of text. So what I want to really focus on today is, let me see, I'm going to go to the next lesson. Right, this talks about styling text. So styling text on Code Academy, they talk about these elements called M. M is one, EM, right? It stands for emphasis. And what this does is it makes your text look kind of italic, right? It gives it an italic feel. So right here, let's look at this paragraph. We have a paragraph inside. It says the Nile River is the longest river in the world, measuring over 6,850 kilometers long, approximately 4,260 miles. So they wanted to emphasize and put some bold on some of these words. So for example, they put a strong element around the Nile River. So now this is what it looks like. The Nile River is in bold because they wrapped it in a strong element. So pretty much the strong is just a way to make some text bold. Okay. EM is also another element that you can wrap around, and this means make something italic. So you see longest is italic here and there between those tags. Nope, you didn't miss anything good, CC. You're here. You're right on time. So yeah, so that's the strong tag. It just makes some text bold. And then this is the M tag, which just makes some text italic. All right, so we have the P, and then you see how it's styled here. So look, this is the way that you want to make stuff bold or make it italic with HTML. But what happened was over time, what we had to do was we had to figure out how to make it easier and more dynamic to add styles to a web page. So this is where CSS came from. They came up with CSS. We can make things bold with these tags, but we only can do so much. And we needed a way to be able to make websites really, really beautiful. So CSS was created just to make websites look great. So that's why we call it the cascading style sheets, CSS. And I'm going to talk more today about what the cascading part means, okay? So first, let me add some stuff up here. We're going to do a head element. Inside of my head, I'm going to do a style element. Okay. We talked about that. Anything now we put inside of the style element will be CSS that gets applied down here to our page. Okay. So let's say I wanted to add some CSS for this here. I'll give it an ID. Oops. Remember, I say ID equals. Then I say this is supposed to be about brown bears. Okay, about brown bears. So I just give it an ID, something I can remember, something that's unique, something that stands out. So now this H2 is associated with the ID of about brown bears. And then up here, start giving it some rules. So I type about brown bears with my H2, and then I can say make the color brown, right? Property value brown. So this is our CSS. This is always going to be the structure. We can just keep on adding more rules. I click run, and about brown bears is now brown over here. So really cool. So the thing with CSS is it's different ways to inject it into the web page, right? You can add your CSS in a few different ways. This right here, anything up here, I'm going to use a CSS comment and say, this is embedded CSS. Right? It's embedded into the head. Okay, it's embedded into the head of the document. So this is where we add embedded CSS. So if anybody ever says, you said, why is there two IDs? One ID is on the div and one ID is on the H2. So every element can have its own ID. Okay. So yeah, we can, if anybody ever asks you to put some CSS embedded on a page, they're asking you to put it right here. They're asking you to put it right inside of the head tag. So this is embedded CSS. You can also have something called inline CSS. So let's say I say I'm going to do an HTML comment now. So this is the beauty. This is the beautiful part about comments. You can write actual text inside of your code, and the browser doesn't even mess with it. It doesn't recognize it. It skips over it. So say this is inline CSS. Okay, And I'm going to show you some inline CSS. To do inline CSS, what you do is, let me put this on separate lines just so it's easier to read. What you do is you go inside, you add an attribute that says style. Okay. You add an attribute called style, and this is where you can put your CSS here. So color purple. So if you notice, this is an element, and this element has an attribute called style. Up here in our head, this is an element called CSS. Called style. Okay, and it has properties. So it's just good to see. You can put CSS up here if you want, or you can put it down here. The big difference is there's some pros and some cons. Okay, so the pro number one is for inline CSS. If you put inline CSS right here, this is what the browser will apply to the page. So watch when I click run. Even though up here I said use brown text, down here I said use purple text. So the browser is going to override this text up here that says brown and actually apply this one here that says purple. And there you go. So now you see the text is purple. And that's because the browser just reads from top to bottom. Okay. So when you open up Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer or Brave, what it does is it starts at the top. It reads the HTML at the top. It reads the CSS. It reads the rest of the elements in the body. The last thing that it reads, that's what it goes by. So if here we said use purple text, but up here we said use brown text, it's going to use the last thing that it read, which is right here. Okay. So I'm going to do a quick poll. Or do you need more explanation for inline CSS versus embedded CSS? So do you need more explanation? Does that make sense to you? Do you have questions? What would a div ID affect? So this div ID effect will affect everything inside this div. Everything inside of it. All the way down to here. Oops. Everything from between line 12 and 23 will be affected by the div. Okay. So some people want more explanation between inline CSS and embedded CSS. Okay, cool. So, so the cool thing is, like I said, sometimes you want to add inline CSS. Let's say you have a bunch of CSS up here already, and you want to say, oh, this is a great example. This is another way you can write a property, right? Let's say we just say H2 color green, right? So this is saying in CSS, go and make every single H2 element, make the color green. So if I click run, watch what happens. You see the color green here, you see the color green here, but the color is not green here around about brown bears. And about brown bears is also an H2. So why didn't the text turn purple? The text didn't turn purple because, turn green like the rest of them, because down here we overrode it and said the inline CSS, which has the priority. Anything on the element has the priority. Okay. So the inline CSS is overriding this H2 right here. Only for this one. The other H2s, if you notice, they don't have any inline CSS at all. They're turning green just because up here in CSS, we said turn all of our H2s green. But this one right here, because we gave it an actual inline CSS, or because we gave it an ID, which also affects it, that's why it's not the same color. So the good thing about using these inline CSS is that it overrides what you put in the embedded CSS. So really, I'm going to advise you guys why you shouldn't be using the inline CSS. It's kind of dangerous. It gets really, really messy. right? If I wanted to add a bunch of stuff here, for one, it would get crazy. Let's say if I want to add border stuff, then let's say I wanted to add font weight, you would have to write everything inline. Okay, and it gets blurry, it gets really congested up inside of here, right? So you don't want to do that. That's one reason. Two, it's hard to maintain and find. Later on, once you build these websites out and they get really big, you're going to have a bunch of CSS. Okay, you're going to have a lot of CSS, and you don't want to keep it all inline. And then sometimes you're not even going to want it to be embedded. So another thing that you can do, so this is getting ahead, but another thing you can do is you can take your CSS out of here. You can just totally take it out, create a separate file, and call it style.css, right? So this is a different type of file. This is a CSS file. And then you can put your CSS actually over here. And this is not embedded CSS. This is called external CSS. And you import this file into your HTML file. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so this is external CSS. This is a whole different way, and the more professional, I'm not going to say it's more professional, it's just more structured way to do it. Okay, because it separates your HTML code from your CSS code. You're going to have a bunch of both. So you want to be able to separate them so it's easier for you to read everything. Yep, technically inline CSS is like an attribute. Yep, specifically to that element. Yep. Good job asking these questions, guys. Thank you for asking these questions. The more you ask, the more you help the community, the more you help yourself. Please don't ever be too ashamed to ask questions. So technically inline CSS is like attribute. Yep, able to maintain code and make changes to clients. Changes their mind. Yep, it's better if that's a good thing. Like if a client changes their mind, you want to know exactly where they're going to find that that CSS rule. You just want to be able to go in there and search for about bound bears, or just it's really structured inside of when you put it inside of there, or when you put it inside of the if you put it inside of the embedded inside of the style tags. Yep. Yes, Tariq. Yep, you got it right. Inline CSS is with the code, and embedded CSS is not, because it's within the head section. Yep. Embedded CSS is in the head section. Inline CSS is in the code. It's like right inside the HTML. So for external, what do you save file as? You save the file as CSS. So you can call it style.css. You can call it bootstrap.css. You can call it theme.css. You can call it my favorite fonts.css, whatever you want to call it, okay? But have that .css extension. Do all browsers support comments contained in the and then the asterisk? So like I showed you here, this is a comment for CSS. So it's contained within the /* and then you have the star / sorry. So you have these slashes and stars. This is CSS comments. And then over here, you have the brackets, exclamation marks, and dashes for the HTML comments. So they're different type of comments, but every browser recognizes them. Yes. CC asks, does it ever get difficult to manage the external CSS since you don't see the other code in the same place? No, it kind of helps you out because you know exactly where to kind of go get it at. You don't have to worry about scrolling all crazy. So sometimes what's going to happen is you're going to have kind of like this. You're going to have you can have like two files open. You see how I can switch between it? It'll be better if over here while you're working on, let's say I'm inside my code and I don't want this here. I got a brown bears. I'll just add the ID here, or I can just add another ID here to ID and say my P tag. And then over here, I can just take that and I can say, okay, now I want to make a rule for my P tag. Okay, and I just say color is green. All right, so the cool thing is now is these two are connected, but they're separated at the same time. They're separate, so now I don't have to worry about my PTAG CSS making this file more convoluted. Yep. Can you explain the external file again, please? Yes, yep. So external CSS is CSS it's in a whole separate file, and it's in a file full of nothing but CSS. So you see our original, what we had here is, this is mainly an HTML document. This is all about HTML, and then we're injecting CSS inside of it. Okay, it's just adding some extra stuff to it. This, the difference is over here, there will never be any HTML inside of this document. This document will always have only CSS. Okay, and this document now can be imported into this HTML document. And the way you import it is you do something like this. You do like a style rail. You say it's like I think I always forget this. Let me see. Import CSS. Attributes you have to add. So I'll show you guys. Yeah, this is it. This is the link CSS. So that's how you would pretty much do it. Let me go over here and show you guys this. I just copy and paste it. So pretty much you make an attribute called link. href is the reference. It stands for hyperreference. Where is this file at and what's the name of it? It's kind of like what you did with images. You tell the source and like the path to it. So what we would say is the style.css, because that's the name of our file. Relationship is the style sheet, CSS style sheet. Kind of you just memorize these things after a while. You get used to them and you don't ask any questions. Type equals text/CSS, because it could be JavaScript or something else. Media equals all. So this just means I want this to be applied. This link, when I import the CSS, I want this to be applied to anybody viewing my website, whether they're on a mobile device or a desktop device. But yeah, we get to this later. This is just going further into CSS. This is just the syntax that you would use to import your external file. I just wanted you to know that this is how they connect. They connect because of this line right here of code. This line of code says, go and get my file called style.css and use that style inside and throughout anywhere the ID tags match up. So we'll get to external CSS. For now, I want you to focus on getting really good with using embedded CSS. That's it. Embedded. Use everything embedded CSS, and we'll do external CSS later. Okay, Alicia, I know. I'm glad. Yeah, we're not going to this one. We're not going to really go too hard on. We're not going to learn too much stuff. I'm just kind of driving home CSS. That's it. So we're not going to go into too much other deeper stuff. Actually, I'm going to show you one more cool tag. Do some list stuff, but besides that, this is going to be driving home what CSS is. So ask your questions. Yep. Good explanation, Eric. Good explanation about external CSS. You just create a whole separate document that's strictly CSS, and you can get it imported. Cool. All right, yeah. We're not going to do too much, guys. So yeah, watch this replay video. Let me see. We're going to go on next with this right here. Line lesson 10 is just about line breaks. We talked about this. This is just how to use the break tag. Okay, the break tag is a BR. That's really all it is, and you can add breaks in between your text. So nothing really to that, but I want you guys just to go through these lessons, try out the exercises. It's really simple. And so this is a new tag I want to teach you guys about. It's called the unordered list, UL. This is for if you want to put like a list of something on a page. Okay, so earlier with the earlier session, I showed people how to create an unordered list of recipe ingredients for making a cake. And pretty much with that, what you have to do is, I'll step through the code again, you create a UL tag first. All right, UL stands for unordered list. The reason why we call it UL is because we also can have an OL. OL is an ordered list. So this list is unordered. There's no numbers beside it, just bullet points. And I'm going to show you guys a ordered list as well. So with UL, what you do is first you type the open and close, and in between the open and close, what you type are these LI elements. Okay, so these always have to be embedded inside of the UL. So LI just stands for list item, LI list item. Okay, and this is just saying put your item here. So recipe ingredients for cake, what we will need are eggs. And then you can write another one. Matter of fact, I'll do something different here. Recipe ingredients for smoothie. And what we would need is strawberries, another LI tag, we're gonna say lemons. We're gonna say white chocolate. Okay, and now look at this. So now we have our, I already closed that, sorry. So we have our unordered list. Click run, you'll see ta-da, ingredients for smoothie, strawberries, lemons, white chocolate. Okay. So it's really a straightforward type of group of elements, but that's what you have to keep in mind. These two go hand in hand. Later on, I'll show you how to change those little dots, those little bullets. Those can also be like squares or even images or different colors as well. All right. So really excited to show you guys also the OL tag. So let's say instead we also need to show steps for making a smoothie. Okay. So with that, we will create an OL tag because this is now going to be steps, right? This is going to be in order. So if it's in order, that means now we need to add an ordered list. So ordered list has an OL and it also has these LI tags, which stand still for list item. You say what the steps are. So you say put strawberries inside smoothie. Inside blender. Then we can make another LI and say put lemons inside blender. This is a not so tasty smoothie. I think it was all right till I added the white chocolate. Then you close that out. Oh, I gotta make sure we close that. Cool. So if I click run, this is the difference now. We have steps to make a smoothie. 1, 2, 3. Now you see the numbers beside that. This was a UL, so it had the dot beside that. So that's just the biggest difference is that this is for an ordered list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You may be creating a blog that has like the top 10 outfits that Rihanna wore this year, right? So you need to have this, you need to be able to create an element that lets you list things. Or you may want to create a website that shows the top 5 cameras out right now if you're like a photographer or something like that. So you just may need a way to structure your content. And these elements, the UL and the OL, are great additions to have in your arsenal. All right, so it's just good to use them, know about them, and just know that they're there when you need them. Okay. Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure you guys are good with that. I just posted a poll, pretty much asking, do you need any more explanation on a UL or OL? So if you need more explanation, click yes. If you don't, click no. Okay, most people said no. But the people who said yes, I'm just going to read through some of this for you. In addition to organizing text in a paragraph form, you can also display display content in an easy to read list. In HTML, you can use an unordered list tag to create a list of items in no particular order. An unordered list outlines individuals list items with a bullet point. Okay. The UL element should not hold raw text and won't automatically form raw text into an unordered list of text. Individual list items must be added to the unordered list using an LI tag. So what they're saying is you cannot just go here and say UL and then start doing stuff like strawberries, lemons, chocolate, right? You can, and then if you click run, that's not going to create a list. Look what just happened. It just put it all on one line. Okay, that's not how it works. You have to add the LI. They work together. LI tells the browser to make this an actual list. And there you go. Now strawberries is in the list item. Lemons and cocoa still are on the same line. Okay. And same thing for OL, same exact thing. Okay. So once you go, that was lesson 11 in Code Academy. Once you go to lesson 12, it's going to be the same thing, but they just focus on OL, which I just told you guys about all in one. All right. Yeah, lemon got to go. Yeah, practice this stuff once a week, once a day, if you really want to get good at it. People say, hey, how long does it take? I'm going to say it takes 1 hour a day. That's what it takes. That's how long it takes. I really wanted to drive that home. Just do it. Just do it. I'm telling you, it will pay off. And we'll have a super strong community. It'll be dangerous. It's going to be dangerous. It's not, it will be dangerous. It's not that it's going to be, it will. So let's do it. That was 12. Going on to 13, they talk about images. You guys already know about images. So you guys, once again, are ahead of the curve. And then they talk about image alts. Image alts is pretty much how to add the alternative text to your image, just in case something goes wrong and this link cannot be found and the browser cannot display it. They're just going to show this text instead. Another reason why this alt is important, this alt attribute, is because it's used for search engine optimization. And what that means for you guys who don't know is it helps your site rank higher or makes this image rank higher. So let's do an example. Let's say we take South Carolina nonprofit. Now run this and I click images and you're going to see some images for different nonprofits here in South Carolina, right? So that's cool. So one of the reasons why this popped up is because the person who coded that website, oops, let me find my tab. The person who coded that website, they put some really good text in between the alt tag. They probably put something like South Carolina nonprofit. So now anytime somebody searches for South Carolina nonprofit, this image is going to show up on the search engines near the top. So that's really, really cool. That's convenient. So you building these websites for your clients, they want to show up at the top of the search engines. They want when people search for local plumber or local esthetician or local personal trainer, they want images to pop up of them. So you want to make sure that you add the right content onto the web page. So Google, as it's ciphering through your website, it's like, okay, I found something that pertains to what this person is searching for. All right. Great question, James. James asked back on talking about the UL list and stuff like that. He asked if we can use these lists to be links. And these links just pretty much, they link off to something else, like to a bakery shop. Yes, definitely. We will use the link attribute element, which we haven't got to yet, but we'll get there. But pretty much it's really just an A. You would wrap it around here to link to some different image or some other page. Okay, so yeah, it's really cool. You can put just about anything within these LI tags. You can put images here if need be. You can do it. You can do a bunch of different stuff in between here. Yep, you see that right there, Sterling? I just added a break tag in between these LI tags, and now you see a space in between Russia and United States. So if you want to add some space in between these things to make it look more like whatever your theme is you going on for your website, you can definitely do it. But I'm going to show you other ways how to do it too, using something called margin. You don't want to overuse that break tag. I'm going to show you other ways how to add space in between elements. Okay, cool. All right, so that's it. That's images as well. So everything we covered so far between 1 and 14, I want you guys to kind of use and implement on the homework. So there's still one more lesson left, but we'll talk about videos later. For now, what I want you guys to focus on is this homework. So what we're going to be doing for homework is you're going to create a new file. And let me show you guys where this new file will be. So today I posted a video on Slack which shows you guys how to create folders right here from Atom. Okay, so for right here from Atom, how to do it. Just in case the video froze, I'm gonna give guys a couple seconds to catch up. I turned my screen off to turn it back on. If you guys can see me and see my screen and see me type in HTML, send me a quick message and say I see you. Okay, cool. Probably it's like an 8-second delay. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, this is we're right here inside of Atom. If you want to create a folder or a file, what you would do is you would go inside up here to file, and then you would say open folder, or you can add a project folder. So let's say we want to just open up a folder, or let's say, we want to open up a folder because we already have a project going. We have a project called First Test. Remember, this is from week 2 homework. So I want you to go to your project for homework. First Test, open and add to this window and discard state. This just means override what we already have. That's what I want to do this time. I'll override it. So cool. So what I want to do is, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So anyway, over here in the left-hand corner, I know it's kind of small for you guys, but what I want you to do is I want you to right-click over here and create a new file. And I want you to call that new file index2.html. This is going to be just a build on top of what we already worked on, okay? On top of that, what I want you to do is inside of this file, what you're going to be doing is I want you to use every single element that we talked about so far. Every single element. So the H1 element, the P element, the span element, the UL element, the image element, everything we talked about so far, the break element, I want you to use those all in one document. Create something cool, create something funny, create something ugly, like an ugly Christmas sweater. I don't care. You can create anything. Just add every single one of them elements to the page. Okay. So use every H tag, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. I want you to use all P's. Use a P tag at least once. Use a span tag at least once. And then what I want you to do is I want you to add an ID to every one of those elements and add some type of unique CSS to it. Okay. So as you notice, what I did was even my body tag, you really only add IDs to everything in the body and inside. Okay. So you only want to add it to everything inside the body and the body itself. So even with the body, I gave the body an ID, right? And I said, what did I describe? I made a rule that said the body should have a background color of yellow. If I go over here to my website, you see my body has a background color of yellow. I could change that and say have a background color of blue. I go over here and refresh, it has a background body of blue. Okay. I can say gray. Over here, we have a background color of gray. Okay. So I'll make it brown for now. It looks kind of reddish. We'll go back to yellow. Okay, cool. So go back to yellow. And then I also created a H1 tag. This H1 has an ID of welcome message. After that, what did I do? I added some CSS to it, and I said the color should be blue. And yep, the color is definitely blue. So then I created a P element called glad message. And I said my glad message, I created a CSS rule for it. And I said the color should be red. And guess what? My color is red. So I just want you to go through and add every single element at least once. And inside of the homework document, which I'll pull up here, you'll see a list of every single element I want you guys to use, right? All the way from HTML all the way down to LI. And then all of the CSS properties I want you to use. So this is going to be pretty cool. We talked about some of these already. Well, actually, we talked about all of them. I've showed you how to use them. And I want you to use these yourself to add some type of style to your website. All right. So just make something. It does not have to be pretty. I just want you to use all of these elements and use the CSS properties. All right. So you see we got color, border, font size, font weight. So I want you to use these. Like if on your H1, I want you to try to change the color. Okay. On your div, I want you to try to change the border. Okay. On your span, I want you to try to change the text transformation and Google this stuff. All right. Google it. I'm going to put this right here. Just Google them. That's it. If you want to know how to do something like what's text transformation, what's background color, how does that work? This has to be a lowercase b. This has to be a lowercase f. Case sensitivity is important. Okay. Just Google it if you're having problems. That's it. Yep, great question, Tyreek. You can definitely have different backgrounds around a page, especially like that's a good thing about divs. If I had a right here, if this was a div section, I'm gonna say ID equals. I'm just gonna call this cool div, right? And then up here, I'm gonna go over here and add some CSS, cool div, put my ankle my brackets, and I'm gonna say background color pink. All right. Now watch what happens here. See that? Just this section has a pink background. Just that section has a pink background. And that's because only the cool div, which has all of these elements inside of it, has this ID of cool div, and it's being told right here to do something different. All right. So yeah, you can definitely get kind of flexible with that. If you want to come up with a pattern, a color scheme on your website, this is one way to do it. You break it up into sections. That's the importance of divs. Thanks, Matthew. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, helping out. Yep, good. Yep. Thanks, Eric. Cool, cool. All right. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions with the homework. I literally put it all inside of that document already, which I'll post out once I can find it. Okay. So this is it right here. It says week 3 homework. Go through. I have the replay, link to the replay videos, what you should be working on. Go over lessons 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 on Code Academy. Only do 15 if you're feeling lucky. This is about videos. All right. Don't sign up for the pro plan. Then I want you to actually do some coding. So you open up Atom. All right. Open up your Atom. Open up your first test folder. And I want you to create a new file. And we call that file secondpage.html. And inside of secondpage.html, you're going to be adding a whole bunch of these elements, every single one of these elements, and video if you're feeling lucky. Just add them at least one time. Use each one at least one time. And then once you add those elements, I want you to add some CSS to each one of those elements next. Just have some fun, freestyle, and be creative. It doesn't have to look pretty. Just get used to using the elements, get used to using that CSS. If you do have questions, yep, you can definitely go on Slack if you can't make it to the tutoring session. So definitely ask questions on Slack. I also added a programming exercise inside here for you guys, something to keep you guys engaged and have some fun as well. So check that out. Yeah, Francis, what I'm going to do is I have a video. Let me see. Let me find that video for you. Here it is right here. Use this video right here to actually learn how to create a folder inside of Atom. Hello, everybody. Wanted to show you guys a really quick example of how you could create yourself a folder or a file using Atom. Okay, so remember, Atom is our text editor where we add on Slack again as well. And if you wanted to create you a file or a folder, this is what you would do. So let's start with our folder. I can go to File up here in the left-hand corner, and I can do a few different things here. I can say open up a new window. I can also open up a new file. I can open file, meaning a file that's already existing, or I can do open folder, which is open up a folder that is already existing. All right. So these are just different things you can do. Let's say I wanted to create a project folder. I can go here. Right now I'm inside the Unlock Academy. Okay, so just check this video out, you guys. Okay. Right click. It's a helpful video. I think you need to install Flash on your browser. It may already come with it. Just check it out. It doesn't all need an ID, but if you want something only done to one element, then giving an ID will help with that. Yep, everything doesn't need an ID, but what I want you to do is for this exercise, give an ID to everything, and then try some style for it. Just get used to adding IDs to things. Yeah, the IDs is just to connect your HTML to your CSS. Okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. You guys have any more questions? Let me know. Hang around for a few more minutes. Hey, hey. All right, cool. Glad you liked it, man. You guys are so welcome, so welcome. Hey. I'm gonna share the tips for time management with you guys. I'm gonna put them on Slack. I'm gonna work on something cohesive, something easy to understand. You're welcome, Eric. You guys are so welcome for show, for show. Trying to challenge you, keep you updated, keep you going hard. It will pay off. If you can make it through these first few weeks, this first 2 months, you'll be good to go. All right. Cool, 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 cool. Hey, you guys, if you haven't already, please check out my book, Cages to Stages. All right, get your copy. Shout out to everybody who ordered their copy this week. Make sure you get it. I'm going to post a link here as well so you can get it. Well worth the read. Very inspirational. We learned a lot about my time management inside of here too. Incrementality, like I talked to you guys about. Check it out. All right, cagesandstages.com. You can get your copy.